very, very excited to be here and to have you all to take off your time and have this conversation about starting a side hustle. I believe there's going to be a lot of value. Um, Maybe let me just have a very short prayer. Lord Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for everyone who's tuning in. We pray that they will be blessed by this presentation and we shall get value from it. So my name is Bernard Kangave, and I build systems that turn small chaotic businesses into organized money-making machines. So for 13 years, I've built for tech brands and I've built tech for brands such as NSSF, DHL, Hotel Africana. But what I care about the most is the border stage shop, the boutique, the washing bay, the 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 person in a corporate office who wants to start something as a means instead of systems. So here is the truth that most businesses don't actually fail because of customers. They fail because of chaos. There's too much guesswork, and of course, there's too little structure. So for me, my mission is really simple: to help African businesses run like big businesses using the equipment that they have, like your phone, whatever you have. That's what we tend to work with. And of course, if you want your business to run without you, you can follow some of my content that is online. And these are things that I teach every day, but I also give practical advice on how we can do it. I run currently 4 businesses. I have a tech business, it's called TraceNode, and we do technology and engineering things. I have a healthy food restaurant, Fruits Express. I have a school that teaches people how to run businesses. It's called School of Systems, and also Business Pilot, a tool that helps small businesses run their businesses efficiently from where they are. Yes. So, Steven, I start the presentation. That's just basically something brief about me. Okay. So I'm not 100% sure if I have sharing rights. Okay. Okay. Um, Let me share this. Okay. All right. So so 90% of side hustles actually fail. And I just wanted to bring this conversation into context. A side hustle is a business that you start with the sole aim of trying to get extra income. So you can say that I want to start a side hustle that brings in, maybe you have a job and then you start a side hustle, or you have looked for a job everywhere and things have refused. But the reality that we have right now on ground is that 90% of that idea that you may have right now, there's a 90% probability that it's going to fail. But the goal of this particular conversation is I hope that when we are done with this, I will have shifted your mindset to realize that you are actually destined to be amongst the 10% where the odds are in your favor that the business is actually going to succeed. Now, to understand the main reason why side hustles fail, you have to go to the core idea. The problem usually comes from the idea. It is flawed, it is bound to fail even before it begins. So what happens is that the average Joe is going to be walking around. You've come from work, you're going back home, and then you're going to see a chapati stand. And when you see the chapati stand, you see that guy making a lot of money. Huh? You see that guy, he's cutting onions, he even goes and buys more eggs, he is making money. And then you're going to get an idea that, if I opened a chapati stand, and it was bringing for me like 60K per day, I will be making money. So many people's ideas come from just basic observation of a business that they suspect actually works. Then another reason, another way people usually get ideas for their side hustles is from a friend. And this one usually comes from you're there and then your parents tell you that, no, not your parents. Some guy tells you that, enyanya zitunda, watermelons. I used to do watermelons. Watermelons move like sugar. People are buying them. Their market is ready. So someone tells you that chicken farming is really, really good idea. So you go and get your savings, your little money that you have saved, and you go and you throw them in the chicken business, not knowing the actual intricacies that are involved for a chicken business to succeed. Now, another way people usually get ideas for their side hustles is by passion. And this one usually comes from do something that you love. You find yourself, because since P1, people are telling you that you're a good singer, you have a good voice, you say, I'm going to start a small business that way I sing, and then I'm going to get followers on YouTube, 200 followers, and I had that 2 million followers, and I had that when you get 2 million followers, you will make money. And when you enter there, you're going to slowly run mad, eventually calling me, right? Another way people usually get ideas is from viral content. So you go on TikTok, you see a TikTok that says 10 ideas that never fail in Kampala. You go through the ideas, and then you're like, this one I can do. Again, you go and get your savings. Or you ask someone for a loan. Or you even go in your circle and ask for a loan. And you put it in an idea that you have absolutely no idea about. Now, the reality is, for most people who are running small businesses, they are slowly running mad. What usually happens is that they are in hustle mode. You've started a small business, let me say it is an online shoe business. And then you've been posting, no one has been responding for some time. You're even used to people not responding. Then one day someone sees a shoe and they are like, Claire, I want a shoe from you. Then you find yourself running. You run to Nakasero, get the shoe, get the supplier, you shine it, you deliver. Then by the time you've handled 4 customers, you don't want to talk to anyone at home. You are tired. 4 customers. In perspective, you will find a business like Woolworths. They handle 4,000 customers, but for you 4 customers, you're tired. You cook food for 10 people and you are exhausted, but the money in your pocket is about like 80K. That is when you know that you're running a hustle. Every single time someone orders, it's a problem. So the hustler lifestyle is exhausting and it's not sustainable, right? So that is why there is a premise that I start this particular talk. I say, do not start a side hustle. Start a side system. Do not start a side hustle. Now, the difference between a side hustle and a side system is this. In a side hustle, you have the mentality of winging it as you go. What does that mean? Every single order, every single time a client calls you, it is like as if the sun has risen. There is nothing predictable that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. When a customer calls you, the day changes. You have to call this one. It's panic mode. You understand? You react to customers' orders. You could have your cake business, and then someone makes an order like this. Kati, go and buy baking flour. But you forgot this. You start abusing people. That's when you recruit. Actually, there's usually even recruitment. As soon as the deal comes, there's recruitment of staff. Because before that, there is nothing. It's almost like as if this seasonal X. Then it also operates on hope and pray. What does that mean? Every day you wake up, you pray for customers and you hope, which is not a bad thing. Even in system businesses, it's like that. But they are a bit different. In a side system, it is designed with predictable processes. you know you are trying to deliver a remarkable result every single time. That means that, when you go to a place like Java's, there is a way you feel the first time, the second time, but you can bring your friend and you know that if you buy a cake, they will sing. It delivers a remarkable result every single time. So even though it's Valentine's Day, you can tell them that, guys, I want you to deliver this thing here. And they will put there a note from Bernard, right? Then it operates with intention. That means that they operate from the very start with the end in mind. Start a side system, not a side hustle. Because with a side hustle, you will don't care who you are, whether you're getting customers. Eventually, there is a day you're going to wake up and you feel sick to your bones. You're burnt out. The next person who makes an order, if you've ever said this, just know you're in a side hustle. Someone makes an order, no gamba, oh yeah. I'll work on that person tomorrow. You are in a side hustle. But in a side system, every subsequent customer is a growth opportunity because there is control, right? Now, I'm going to give you a blueprint for building a business that actually lasts. That when you follow this blueprint, you'll understand that there is the problem and the goal, and in between, there are the steps that you should take to transform your hustle to a system-oriented business. You will take that holiday. If you don't, call me. Now, before you build anything, let's just go back to the idea. Now, the idea, there are basically three things that are important when you're choosing an idea, because there is someone on this call who is going to ask me, or who has ever asked this question, who is that, what business should I start? Now, I want to submit to you, not all businesses are equal. Some businesses are more equal than others. And to understand whether the idea you have, you need to pass it through these 3-step lanes. Any idea you have, pass it through these 3-step lanes. At the end, if it checks all three, you're like, you know what? I have a legitimate side system. You have just the word hustle, a legitimate side system. The problem. Now, the problem, you need to understand the job that the customer wants you to do. Now, by job, it's this. Every single time someone gets money and gives it to you, you must deliver value. But more than just delivering value, there is a job that they are hiring you to do. Now, I want you to imagine you're there at your stage and you need to go to city square in about let's say 30 minutes. If you need to get to city square in 30 minutes, you will go and order for a safe border or a border guy, and you pay him, let's say, 10,000 shillings. You are hiring the border guy at 10,000 to deliver you from your place to city square. Now, depending on what your need is, what the job is, it will determine the means you need to use. Now, I want you to imagine the same scenario. You are at your border stage, right? But you need to go for a fancy dinner at 4 Points restaurant. At that point, you may question your border. You say, let me get an Uber, not just an Uber, but this one, Uber X, so that they will put me inside there. You understand? So you need to understand the job that is required to do. Let me give you a concrete example. So recently, there's a gentleman who was telling me he was looking for a maid, because he was looking for a maid for his parents, and he wanted the maid to cook healthy food for his parents. Unfortunately, now, of course, when someone hears this, you need a maid. Someone says that, I have someone, so they call the auntie. The auntie is something. Then the auntie calls the people in the village, and then they bring a girl. So when the girl comes to the home where she's supposed to be cook, they told her that, well, I've brought someone, she has manners, I name pizza, or everything. The girl starts waking up very early in the morning at 4 a.m. and cleans the entire house, and it is spotlessly clean, everything. Then she forgets to cook for the what? The parents. At that point, you have got for someone a maid. but you have not done the real job that they called you to do. And that is the problem that we have with most side hustles. Yeah? You provide a maid who is excellent at cleaning floors, but not a cook. Yeah? So it doesn't matter how polite the person is, as long as they do not understand the job. If you start a side hustle and you do not understand the problem you are solving here, the job the customer actually is hiring you to do, you will find yourself making a mistake. Someone who buys flowers, they don't buy flowers because they taste good. They buy flowers, presentation. It's Valentine's. Now, the other point here is the customer. Who are you solving this problem for? This is also another important thing. It is always a good idea to sell to people who have money. You know, there are people who call me and they tell me that I have this car business idea. I want to do a car printing business. No, not printing. Maybe I want to do I want to sell. You imagine if you want to sell cars to students. They don't have the money. Actually, if your idea is to connect students to their friends, it's a good idea. They hang out a lot, but they don't have the money for the problem you're trying to solve. So your idea is good, but there is no money in the idea. You understand? I always tell people this. When you're coming up with a business, it is good to sell to rich people. That is my personal view. It's good to sell to rich people. Sell to people who have money but do not have the time to solve that problem. Let me give you an example. Personally, I hate going to the market. I hate going to the market. So what happens is that I would rather, but there is a market that I like buying from. I like buying from Nakao Market. There is a gentleman that I pay every single week, and his job is to wake up in the morning, go inside the market, buy what I want, and bring it to me. Now, I can pay for that problem. Now, you see, you can come up with an idea. I'm going to come up with a grocery delivery problem. Because very many people don't want their groceries. And then you start selling that particular idea to people who can afford to walk, get a taxi, and go to Nakawa. They can throw time at the problem. No, look for people and be specific. And you're like, I'm going to go in Kololo. It will keep you focused. Your hustle, you will be focused on exactly what you want to do. Do not get ideas for your side hustle and your target clientele does not have money for it. Then the third point was the math of the business idea you've gotten. Now let's just go back to that idea of chapatis. You walked around, you see a chapati seller. He's killing it. The chapati seller is killing it. He's selling about 1,000. No, he's selling about 100 chapatis in a night. Now the question you need to ask yourself, what profit is in that chapati? He can be getting 100 shillings on one chapati, 100 on one chapati. When you remove the flour, the eggs, nyanya mbisi, right? Then, after he sells 100 chapatis, he has sweated, he has gotten 10,000. Kati corporate woman. Huh? If we gave you 10,000 shillings per day, and we went for 30 days, that's 300K. You have hair, water, you want to also go out, it's your birthday, you want to slay. How is that a viable business? So what happens to dear hustler, side hustler, is you are going to enter the business, then you're going to realize that you are selling, but you're not making money. You understand? You are selling, but you're not making money. You have to do a personal assessment. How much money do you need per month? You start from there. You don't have to. I don't believe in what they call it, self-humility. No, you say your money. If you need 10 million, you say your money. Someone says that it is easier to get 10 million from 2 people than to get it from 100 people. Get 10 million, and then you say that rich people don't. They have very big compounds that are not being slashed. I will go and slash them. And you need 2 clients. Understand the mathematics. And another thing in this mathematics, ask yourself, how many customers do I need to be happy? You can say that, but the chapatis, you can make, I know someone who is making money from chapatis, they sell 10,000. Where are you going to get your 10,000 from? Nalia, Nyabo, Sebo, where are you going to get 10,000 people to buy your chapatis from? Nalia? These are one of the core things that make people fail at the side hustles that they have started. First of all, they don't understand the problem they're solving for. Secondly, they don't know the customer who is going to buy. Thirdly, the math is just wrong. The math is wrong. Now, the good news is this. There is a massive market. There's a massive gap in the market right now. In Uganda specifically, I don't know about people who are hearing from Japan, but in Uganda, or even you may not be in Uganda, but you want to start a business in Uganda. Let me tell you something. Ugandans are horrible at providing services. Most Ugandan businesses, and I'm sure everyone here can testify, you go to a shop and it's like as if the shop attendant is doing you a favor to take your money. Even the banks. There is a bank I will not name. They close at 4. 4. I had a problem at 10 past 4. They told me, sir, you have come at 10 past 4, but we are not going to serve you. This isn't a problem. It is a massive opportunity. That means that if you decide to get the right idea, which checks the 3 boxes that I talked about, the three framework boxes, just to repeat the 3 framework boxes, that you understand the customer's problem, you know who the customer is, and the math is mathing. Huh? There is let me tell you, in Uganda, you need about like 6 months, 6 to 12 months to go to the top of any market if you're serious. If you're serious, you just have to do what the other people are not doing. And that's the good news. We are lazy. No one is doing a good job. But once we understand today's system, your business, your side system is going to do a good job. Now, I want to show you how to build your side system. The 5 things that are extremely important to build a side system. First of all, the lead capture system. Now, the problem we have right now in Uganda, I don't know, but someone here in this place, in this call, customers come to your shop every single day. You're like a taxi. Customers come every single day, but every day you do not even have the number of even one customer like this. And it's the reality of Ugandan businesses. You don't have the number of one customer. Every single day, you're even spiritual. You wake up and pray, but you don't have the number of not even one customer. You're dealing with a shop. You may even know them by name, but you do not have their details. And this is a chronic problem of a hustler. A hustler knows that every day I will hustle. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day you wake up and you understand that it is for struggle, to remove struggle. No. If you create a side business, the first thing you should set up is capturing the details. Get the name of the customer. What have they bought? And most importantly, send them a message. Guys, let me tell you, what I'm teaching you is about being remarkable. It's about being remarkable. I want you to think of your business as a box, a black box. Someone comes with a problem, they interact with this black box, and the customer gets the most amazing experience that they have ever gotten in their lives concerning that. You understand? So when someone comes and buys, you imagine you go and buy, they're like, okay, hello, how are you? You get their number. Okay, like, you know what, we want to make sure that the product that you get is really good. In case of anything, you'll come back and replace it. Can we get your details, please? They write their details. They buy the bag. As soon as they go outside there, 20 minutes, because you're using a system, you send a message. Dear Jessica, thank you for buying from J&S stores. We hope that the bag satisfied your needs. At that point, you have already told the customer that you appreciate them. You have already told them that you saw them and understood them. You already above 90% of the hustlers. Your friends are hustling for you. You're building your side system. Then you need to have what we call a pricing system. Now, a hustler will build his car shop, and then someone contacts them, and they're like, I would like a shoe. The hustler looks at you. How did you come? How are you dressed? This one looks like they have money. When they say this one has money, they're like it's 300,000, and that is a chronic problem. You think that you're going to become rich by fleecing customers who look like they can afford. The problem is that, let's just say your business has done the first part right. Your business has actually gotten the contact, and then it has given, and then you've sent that message because you listened to this particular talk, thanking them and all that, and then the customer goes and recommends you. So she goes and recommends you to the friends that, oh, there's this car shop, it's really, really, really nice. You should go and buy from them. When you go, you look, they didn't come well, you're like, 50K. 50K. Now, the person who recommended you feels cheated. And they'll wake up in the morning, and then they will start to go, they'll go in church, they'll go in the mosque, they'll go where? They'll go online and start saying, Panange, business is slow. No. When you have a side system, it rains. When business is slow, it rains. When business is good. So a side system ensures that you have a uniform pricing structure. The price is the price. You are creating trust and professionalism with every single interaction. That doesn't mean that you do not create tiers. You can have tiers. That means that you have the premium package and the ordinary package. But your premium package then go from a table there and go from 1 million to 20 million because the president's daughter has come. That's not how it works. Then the third system you need to get is the delivery system. The customer, in a hustler's mode, the customer rarely knows when something is going to be delivered. Actually, there's a product I bought recently, and it wasn't recently. No, in fact, let me give another story. There was a gentleman yesterday who was telling me about a Valentine's story. So this guy orders from the UK. He orders from the UK, and he's doing long distance relationship, and he wants to surprise his girlfriend on Valentine's. And he was telling me that why he didn't understand Ugandans is that Valentine's is the Olympics of a florist's career. If you're a florist, the Olympics is on Valentine's Day. That's when you sell more than usual. So what he does is that he places his order 2 weeks in advance. In fact, he said that I did not choose from the bottom of the barrel of service providers. I chose the creme de la creme. But after calling for 2 weeks on Valentine's Day, the flowers, it reaches 10 o'clock, there are no flowers. So the guys actually delivered the flowers at 6 p.m. when the girlfriend had left office, and she was annoyed. So when they call her, it looked like an afterthought. Now, these guys, and that's why I told you that in Uganda, if you want to create a business, you just have to remove the hustle culture and adopt the system culture. And in 12 months, you will be at the top of the chain. So what happens is that the flowers arrived, but there was no way of him knowing whether they had arrived when he was on the other side. When you have a system, you come up in your black box, you say that we promise to deliver your flowers or whatever you've ordered in 40 minutes, or it is free. My God. Imagine you go and you talk to a hustler and they tell you that we promise to deliver your shoes in 1 hour, or it is free. That means that the brand itself, and meanwhile, the hustler who is talking may not even have a shop. They may be in their house. but they can confidently say that this is the brand promise that we are giving, and they will go and ensure everything aligns to that. So have a delivery system. For me, there is a what we do. I always encourage that when someone makes an order, use these systems are there. Use an app and then to automatically send a message. Your order has been dispatched. It will be arriving in 40 minutes. Your order has arrived. How much is the message? 10 shillings. But it is the difference between that customer receiving their goods and recommending you. Kubanga chiyamba bo, chiyamba gwe. That is the reality. They find themselves recommending you because you are too good. I don't even know where the business is. So there is that. Another system of the 5 systems is the money flow system. A hustler's money, when it comes, a hustler has no system of money. When it comes, it enters in the same box that is the Kameza box. Same box. And at that point, if you want to understand a hustler, someone who is hustling, when the money comes and they are hungry, they will touch that same money and go and buy things. A hustler will tell the border man, no, you deliver the goods. Let's say you've delivered the mangoes, whatever you've delivered. And then you're like, who should we pay? Yeah, you put it on the mobile money of the border guy. But they have a story, full story on this. My border guy disappeared with my money many years ago. Okay, up to today, I'm still looking for him. the man disappeared with my money. A hustler will be there in his corporate office expecting the money, and then the guy sends you a message, boss, border bagikonye kati ndi mu ddwaliro. When you build a system, there is a dedicated mobile money or bank or whatever PayPal system in which money has to be paid, and it is clearly communicated to the customer. So you look trustable. Things are done. Even when you get people who want to lend you money, and you're like, no, this is how we do it. When money enters, first of all, it goes to this mobile money account, and then it is deposited to the bank. At the end of the day, we reconcile. They're like, so I need about 50 million shillings. They're like, boss, you're too organized. You're not. Are you Ugandan? But you look Scottish. You understand? You need to have a money flow business, and this, by the way, is irrespective of whether you're in your house or you're alone. Then the final thing is the operation system. The operation is the way you do things. The order in which things are done. We talked about initially how the hustler, whenever an order is made, that's when they go and buy things. No. You need to have a number of a supplier. You save the supplier's numbers in a system. So that when the shoes are not, when something is, you always know when the stock is low. What starts this? What starts this? What starts that? Let me tell you, with these 5 systems, you are better than 90% of the Ugandan businesses, big and small, assuming that you have taken your idea through the lens that I talked about initially. Now, the entire system has one purpose. I don't want you to forget this: to delight customers. Guys, delighting of customers. The delighting of customers means that you are creating a uniformly predictable way in which every single time a customer comes, they are delighted. There's a certain lady who contacted me, and she was extremely good at what she did. She sells mangoes. However, the problem that was there, that every single day she wasn't there and Hacker Girl came, I got a bad experience. So we went through the systems model. You understand? So we sat down and we discussed, well, why is it that I'm ever happy? Is it that she smiles well? Okay, she was a good smiler, I must say. However, whenever I went to buy 5 mangoes, she added me 1 extra nyongeza. Nagamba mutabane kano kako. Every single time she added something there. You understand? So if that delights customers, Put it as part of your system. Let me tell you something. You're going to steal your competitors. You won't even have competition. Put it and document it and teach every single person who comes inside the business that as soon as they hit 5 Gondi, add them an extra, smile, and put it there. Customers are extremely simple at their core. If they ask for 5 mangoes and you have a system that gives them an extra, you will find that the customer is always delighted. It doesn't have to be a massive technological shift. They will come back again and again, and they will become a billboard for your business by referring. You won't even pay Facebook for you to get more customers. Okay? And for me, that is what I leave you with. You have a choice to remain a hustler or to become a system builder. The hustler is in a chaotic world. They are stressed, they are worn out. They are winging it like every day is a day for improvement. They hope and they pray. And increasing of customers burns them out. There's what I always tell people in Africa, slowly but surely. That's why the other day they told us that Utabika, the level of madness in Utabika has skyrocketed. But the system builder is organized. They're in control. It is predictable. It's intentional and it's scalable. So the path to joining the 10% who will succeed is not about working harder. It's about building smarter. Now everyone says build what? Work smart, but not work hard. Today I've given you a framework of what working smart looks like. So you choose your customer, understand their needs, and construct a system that delivers a remarkable result every single time. Thank you so much. All right. So just to confirm, do I answer the question and then we go to the next one, or I just get? I just want to confirm. All right. All right. So the question is the system. When you create a system for your business, there is always the people element, right? Now, in the creating of a system, first of all, when you design the system, you have to document it. What does that mean? That there must be a way in which people can teach them, that can be taught from another system, from that documentation. I always tell people this: when you create the system, creating the system is half the job. Training your employees is the other part. Now, what you have said is extremely true. The reality is that not all employees are trainable. What does that mean? That it is your job to actually find people who are systems oriented. Now, there is a certain client I was working with, and plain sight, the gentleman came and told me, Mr. Bernard, whatever you're saying is very good, but what you have to know is that for me in this business, I am part of the brains. I am one of the clever people in this business. In fact, when it was starting, I am the one who advised the owner on all these things that you're seeing here. If it wasn't for me, the owner would have collapsed long ago. So I was requesting Mr. Sir that you, as you treat the other employees, treat me differently. So I told him that, okay, that is okay. So at that point, we had two options, either to elevate him to a managerial position, right? Or to find a way of removing him from the front line. But the reality is that for any business, you do not need a lot of intelligence at the front line. You imagine Javas, if the person who was cooking what is this thing, the jack chicken, had to think of how much Reiko to put all the time. No, they put salt and they put more salt. No, no, no. At the operational level, we don't need a lot of intelligence. At the level of the frontline soldier, when I send you a command, shoot, don't think, shoot. You understand? So for me, I believe that if some of the people are not systems oriented, you may have to gently tell them that uh, your services are not needed here anymore as you're transitioning, because you need people who can actually follow the systems that you are creating. Or if you really want to put them at a managerial level, but a systems oriented business cannot deal with people who are rebellious to following the system. Yeah. Mm.
Good evening. Thank you so much, our facilitator. I'm wondering now, is it like when you have a corporate job, for starters, and you want to do a side hustle with systems and all?
Mm.
Is it better to first quit the job and then because you can't, like when you give it to someone, they won't run it as better as you would, or it is better to 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 first quit the other job? You either quit the other job or you do alongside when someone is managing. I don't know if you've got the question though.
100%. I understand exactly what you're saying. So this is my personal view. I don't encourage you to quit your job, especially given if it depends on your current realities, right? You could be in a situation where you can't leave your job. But you see, this is the thing. The assumption is that the business that you are going to do is going to be it can only be run if you're there. You see, the thing is this: if let's just imagine. I want you to think with me. Let's just imagine your job. If your job, there's work you do. Now if you don't go to work, huh, no one will do that job. Now if you go and you start a business where you have to be there, that means that you have quit your job to do a side job. You have quit your job for another job. You understand? So for me, I believe that when you are structuring these things, you see, when you draw up the inputs and the outputs, let me give you an example of, let's say you want to start a shoe business. So the customer comes. Now, when you build the system, you say this: there is no customer that shall be served unless their details are entered into the system. There is no customer that shall be served. If you serve a customer without the details being entered in the system, it is gone for instant dismissal. This is what you are telling your new employees. You understand? You are going to put up a camera and you're going to get a software. We have a similar software like that called Business Pilot. Now, when if one day you catch that guy selling, I want you to go to places like Chinatown. If electricity goes, will they write for your receipt? They won't write for your receipt. If electricity goes, they will not sell to you. That is a system oriented business. That is a system oriented business. So you have to put guardrails, and you say, and this is what we do, because you see, some of the things that we do are, some of the clients we have are in the UK, and their businesses are in Uganda. They can't leave the UK to come to Uganda to work. But when you say that this is how the business operates, when a customer comes, you feed the customer details inside the system. After that, you get that car ticket and you run it. So when you are actually, this is called the monitoring of the system. When you are in your side job, you can easily monitor whether you're making money or not making money. Does that mean they want to cheat you? They will cheat you. However, after 2 fires, I promise you, the next set of people will have learned that, wait, this woman, she's far, but she sees. They will call you Deni. So that's my answer for that. No, you do not have to leave. You just have to begin that side hustle, which I want to call a side system, with a systems mentality from the start, and it will run on itself by itself from the start. Thank you.
I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I see.
Oh, thank you. Juliet has a question. I think Juliet's hand is up as well. Juliet, you can go ahead with your question.
No, I think she answered. I think she asked. She's the last one who asked. I think it's Rauda. Rauda. Must be Rauda.
Yes, thank you so much, Bernard, for the wonderful presentation. My question is in line with the students I mentor. They're entrepreneurship students. They usually have a challenge because they're university students. They come to Kampala to study, and their businesses that we are supposed to, should I call it supervise, are like upcountry. So how do you help such a student maintain their business, but also keep up with their grades in school? That's the challenge I'm facing as a mentor for these students. So I would like to get some advice.
All right, thank you so much for that, Rauda. So actually, that is the trap. Yeah. So most entrepreneurs or hustlers become prisoners to their jobs. The job owns you. You do not own the business. So you are not even at the liberty of going on holiday. You know, I always tell people this story. I don't know if I should share it. It's a little bit sensitive, but let me just be brief. That the thing that flipped me from being a hustler to a systems person was when my sister died a few years ago, around a few years ago when she died. And she died at about like 6:30. And I promise you, at about 9 a.m., I was working. And I remember tears were just running through my eyes. And I was working because I had to make deliveries. There was no way I could leave. People had already paid their money. I had to be working. And I just remember myself saying this, that I said, I cannot continue like this. I finished at about like midday. I got a border, went to my parents' house and began to mourn. But you see, and that is the lie of the hustle. You think in a job you can ask for leave. My dear, when you're in a hustle, you cannot even leave to pursue your dreams. That's why I'm very passionate about this. It's not just about, that's why I'm passionate. For me, that was the day when everything flipped. So how I would answer you is this. Actually, after that particular experience, I went and I always said this: I earn in my sleep. By day and by night, I earn in my sleep. And then, because I am a software developer, I started to create a system, an application that would allow me to work, but I'm not there. So I would train my people on how to input the data there, so that even when I want to go on holiday, they can work, but I can monitor. Because the problem that you guys have, that your students have, is they have a monitoring problem. They have no visibility. They don't know if things are working or they're not working. Get a system, not a system, get an application that will enable you to confidently know that this is the amount of money, expenses, sales, this is what I got in the next quarter. Everything you will know confidently. You even know the messages that they have sent to the customers. Let me tell you, in my business, if the person does not send a message to the customer saying, thank you for coming, I will know. I am not, but what I said is that I'm not going to work. Right now, I work 2 days in a week, 2. But I have to run my businesses. So what I would advise them is to get a system, get an application that covers everything, even for the Ugandan context. So that's my personal. I don't know if I've answered that, but rather I'll probably also, you can see how maybe just to go deeper into that after this, and explain how they can run it. But definitely they don't have to be there.
All right. Thank you so much, Bernard.
You're welcome. Jackie, I think. Jackie, put up on.
Thank you so much, Bernard, for that insightful presentation. Mine is not a question, it's a request. I don't know if it's too much to ask. If you could just maybe just like do a recap in bullet form, step by step. I feel like there are some things that I missed in between there.
No, okay. So just a quick perusal.
Yes.
Yes, I say that basically 90% of businesses fail, side hustles, they fail. And the reason they fail is because at the very core, from the idea stage, we get things wrong. Most times we're getting the idea from a friend, or it's what we call the eye test. You see a chapati guy is selling, and then you go for it. Or we go for things that we love, right? Or even we just get maybe some social media details that are telling us what TikTok, these are the 5 businesses that will work. However, before you start an idea, you have to take it through a filter, which I call the 3-step filter. Understand the problem or the job that the customer wants you to do. It is of no importance for a customer to say that I want a housemaid who is going to cook for my parents, and you give me a housemaid who cleans very well. You just didn't understand the job. It doesn't matter how good they are. English, it doesn't matter. 2, choose your customer. Understand who your customer is. Most times we have a problem, but we are targeting a customer who doesn't have money. I don't encourage people to target students. If you have the right model, it's okay. But I'm just saying that get someone who has money. If you target an S1 student, the best they're going to do is what? 500 shillings. But if you target rich people, and you solve their problems, you are at a much better advantage for your hustle to work. Then 3, understand the math. You're going to see a guy doing 100 chapatis in a day, but if he's making 100 shillings profit, that's 10K. Will 10K make you survive? But then there is someone who is operating generators. He gets 1 generator, 2 generators in a month, but every time he does a generator, that is 3 million shillings. You're doing business, but you're not the same. That's why I said all businesses, but there some are more equal than others. Then I talked about the just very, very quickly, that the advantage that we have is that most Ugandan businesses are really, really poor. That means that most people are doing business, but they are as if doing the customer a favor. So there is a massive opportunity for you to start something in the industry that you have chosen, going through the 3 lenses that I've talked about, to produce a remarkable result for your customers. I gave an example of a bank that closes, very prominent big bank, closes at 4 a.m. I don't know if it is okay for me to name the bank, but anyway, it is absurd. 4 a.m. they are done, but I need money. Come tomorrow. You understand? Eh? So that's why I was saying that create a side system, not a side hustle. And these are the 5 systems that any business should have, or a side hustle should have. The lead capture. As soon as a customer comes, you just know that every customer, you have to get their details, their name, their phone number, and what they bought or what they want, so that after the interaction, you can deliver a remarkable result. You say that, thank you so much for coming. A pricing system. The pricing system is important, because there are some people here who have businesses, but you don't even know how much someone prices. You understand? You get a girl and then the shoe is 20K and then they sell it at 30K. That one you chase. We don't have time for thieves. The pricing system means that the way they receive the money is supposed to be in a uniformly predictable. We use mobile money. Tezigenda mu nsawo yo. That is a pricing system. Then there's the delivery system. Delivery means that how do you communicate that the product that someone is going to receive at the different stages. There is a certain, it's a laundromat business that I went to. I went there, and after 3 days to go and get my cans, they told me that, hey, Tetujiraba, we don't know where it is. Come back after the next day. I told them that your systems are broken. You should have sent me something that tells me that the cleaning process has started. We are ordering that. Now your kanzu is ready. I could have waited the 2 extra days, but did I really have to drive there and have a bad experience? So for a new entrepreneur who is entering there, by just providing an exceptional delivery process, you're building an army of people who are going to vouch for you. Then I talked about the operations. The operations. That means that the operations, how the suppliers, it's not that every single time you get a supply, every single time you get it, that's when you have to run to Nakasero. No, you know who the suppliers are. And I think the question that whether you should leave work. Don't leave work. As long as you know the name of the supplier, you have the delivery guy. These guys can work autonomously without you. You can even use safe border, and you ensure that these things are working even when you are not there. So at the end, I just emphasize that the entire system has only one purpose: to delight your customer. If delighting your customer means that you give them an extra mango for every 5 that they get, delight them every single time. That's why no one ever gets tired when Javas, they sing for you, happy birthday, dear Jackie. No one ever gets tired because they know it is a uniformly predictable value that you will always get. Yeah. I don't know if I was able to summarize that. Jackie, is that okay? Okay.
All right. Guys, do we have anyone with a question for Bernard before we close up this session?
In the comment section.
Comment section. Where is the comment section? Oh, someone is Isaac. Is this Isaac? Okay. Yes, please.
Yes, thank you very much, Bernard, for that presentation, and I really appreciate the effort that you've put in.
Yeah.
Though I joined a little late, I was just attending something that I promised to join a little early, but nonetheless, I had to still join. So I was just kindly requesting that is it possible you would share with us the summary of the 5 systems that you presented to us, such that we could look at it into depth, and probably what we don't understand, we would still go ahead and ask probably for future references or something.
Okay. Yes. So I can share. Actually, I would love to share the slides. I just don't know how to do that. But I would love to share the slides. You can find me on all my socials. That is not Instagram, TikTok, Bernard Kangave. My website is bernardkangave.com. You can send me an email, and I promise you that if you are not replied to in 30 minutes, then you will get in 30 minutes, then you will get a free gift. It's our brand promise. I also always put things on TikTok, but you can go on my website and you just send me an email. I will immediately give you these details. Or so it's basically Bernard Kangave on TikTok. I'm the business pilot. You can also put Bernard Kangave, and maybe let me just share my email here. .com. So yes, so also in case you just want to reach out to me via WhatsApp, we can talk about your business, what you want to start. We can talk about basically the filter, and I can just give you a bit of advice on that. So feel free to reach out. But I will share. Maybe I'll also share it with the slides with Stephen, and he can see how to get it.
Yes, yes, I was about to suggest that. So, for anyone that is looking for this presentation, I think Bernard, you'll be able to share it. We shall share it in our community spaces. If you're not in any of those community spaces, there's a pinned message in the chat box. You can join the WhatsApp group free of charge, and all this information as has been discussed. I think Bernard, you share with me the presentation, and we will share it with you as well. Anyone that is looking for access to Bernard, he has shared his details, but we'll definitely be able to forward the same details to you as well if you ask. So it's 8:05. Bernard, thank you very much again. This has been one of those conversations that needs to be had again and again. And we are so excited that you honored us with your presence, and we're looking forward to have a deeper and deeper fulfilling conversation as regards to systems and side hustles and side systems. It's a new perspective that you have given us to treat this with the same seriousness as you have mentioned today. Thank you very much, everyone that has joined us this evening. Would like to wish you a wonderful evening and the rest of the week. Good night.
All right, good night.
Good night.